Hello everyone, Faraway Prepper here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about prepper groups. A lot of you have been asking me lately what are my thoughts on this topic. So I will let you know this. A lot of people right now are getting desperate and they are trying to form prepper groups with the wrong people. Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, said, "To be a friend to someone, you must eat a sack of salt together." The phrase paints an image of time spent together over many meals, a pinch of salt here, a pinch of salt there. In that time, you will experience difficulty, happiness, sadness, and laughter. The birth of children and the passing of loved ones. With each pinch of salt, you add a story to the friendship. And slowly, a new history is formed. From a shared history comes loyalty, wisdom, sacrifice, and growth. But this doesn't happen quickly or easily. It takes time and intention. Stop for a second and think through your relationships. Who is a sack of salt friend? When you're thinking about forming a prepper group or a mag, these are the only people that you should consider because you have tested them over time. If all you're looking for is a prepper discussion group and all you want is having prepper related talks over coffee once a week at your local diner, I suppose you can get away with forming that discussion group with neighbors, acquaintances, or even strangers. But if you're serious about forming a cohesive prepper group to be able to survive and thrive in a collapse, you need to be more strategic in the member selection process. Of the preppers that I have interacted with, there is a disproportionate number of them that are too hot-headed, too quick to be aggressive, too quick to violence, too alpha male, too much bravado in today's times. Some of that will be needed if things get really bad, but you need to be able to self-regulate that to the current situations that you find yourself in. Most cannot do that, and it's simply not productive. You want someone who can be quick to action, who can be a leader when they are needed to do so, who can handle stress, get their hands dirty, and stand up for themselves. Someone that can be a wise addition to your group by bringing in essential skills. So a lot of you know that I was in the law enforcement career path, and when I was going through the police examination process, I had to do a physical test, right? You had to do a certain amount of push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups in 60 seconds, and you also had to run a mile and a half in about 10 minutes. And for those who haven't done it, it's not an easy thing to do. My group was about 30 people, but there were two guys that you can tell that they were spending a lot of time in the gym. I mean, they look like bodybuilders. Everybody was looking at them thinking, there's no way that these guys are gonna have a problem passing the test. But long story short, they both failed the test. I believe that they both failed the 1.5 mile run because it's not about muscles, it's about stamina, it's about consistency. All of these guys that they're focusing too much in the outside is because they try to compensate what they lack in the inside, if you know what I mean. So the same thing applies to prepping. When you hear these preppers talking about, oh, I have a warehouse full of prepper supplies and I have 17 sheds full of food and water and 50,000 rounds of ammunition. I mean, when you hear these preppers just mentioning how much stuff that they have, but not how many skills that they have, they're trying to compensate in the outside what they don't have in the inside, the lack of skills. So when you're thinking about forming a prepper group, do not focus on finding Rambo looking people, if you know what I mean. You need to focus on finding the right people with the right mindset, because that's what's gonna make all the difference.